Kamala.
Kamala.
Another Avengers shirt.
It's a cute outfit. Did your husband give it to you?
Hey Marvel fans, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. Marvel went ahead and dropped the first trailer for the Ms. Marvel series, finally going ahead and showing us exactly how much they're changing the character from its comic book counterpart to its live action form. In this video, what I'm doing here for you guys is not only give you my Ms. Marvel reaction, I'm also going to be giving you my trailer breakdown, pointing out some things you might have missed, trying to make sense of why they would make such a drastic change to a character that's basically brand new in the comics and was working fine, but we all know Kevin Feige and his plans. We do not question him. But I also want to hear from you Marvel fans out there. What did you think of this trailer for Ms. Marvel? We're starting to get into the territory where Marvel is just pumping out so much content. Is this something you're going to be interested in? If you're a big fan of the Ms. Marvel character before the show, are you kind of upset they changed her powers? Really, just go ahead and let me know down below. And I want to say right off the bat, I like this trailer. I think this was a really great trailer. I like the remix of The Weeknd's Blinding Lights in here. I'm also really digging this sort of drawing animation they have in the trailer. I'm wondering if that's actually going to be part of the show or this was just done for the trailer. It kind of gave me a little bit of Scott Pilgrim vibes, and it also kind of reminded me of Spider-Man Homecoming back when that trailer was coming out. I think Iman Vellani, who's playing Kamala Khan in this series, is going to do a great job. She really seems to be fitting in well, and I kind of like this aspect of the Marvel universe they're exploring right here, where if superheroes were real and you were just an average high school kid, you would be dreaming about being one of those people. So I think in a lot of ways, Ms. Marvel has the potential to play this meta factor where it's kind of being the audience while we're watching it. I mean, if you didn't get that from them calling us out with wearing Avengers shirts, like, Marvel, don't start. I'll switch to DC shirts. I've been now diving in piece by piece into this trailer here. We start off here with Kamala Khan in high school, doodling in her notebook, which she should be paying attention in class, and we do see a couple of fun drawings in here. One, she made Ant-Man versus Man-Ant. That's pretty fun in there, but you also see her worrying about other typical teenage things, like when it turned in an essay. Also down at the bottom, it says that she has driving lessons today. Pretty relatable stuff for people of that age. Then we find her, what I'm assuming is in the guidance counselor office, where she just spends so much time dozing off and wanting to live another life that it's starting to affect her grades. Here's where we get a little bit of a look into her high school life here with her friends. Now these two characters are actually from the comic books. This person right here is named Bruno, and he's even been somebody who helps Kamala in the comics make her own costume. That way it fits her abilities, so you can assume this guy's a pretty smart dude. And then you also have Kamala's best friend since kindergarten, Nakia. When we look closer at the shirt that Kamala was getting made fun of, we do see Captain Marvel at the center. Then to the left, we see the Wasp, and then to the right, I'm gonna assume that's actually Valkyrie. Just powerful women of the Marvel Universe, and it would make sense that she would go ahead and represent that. And then clearly here we have Mephisto. No denying it, no questions, horns, clear as day. It's Mephisto, guys. We're moving on. But after a couple of more sequences of her just being a teenager, going ahead and having a crush on somebody, dozing off in class where she imagines herself jumping out her window, even becoming prom queen, we then start to get hints of her new origin and her new power set that Marvel has created for this character. Now, before diving into it, I guess it's worth mentioning what her previous power set was. Now, in the comics, like I said, Kamala Khan is a recently new figure into the world where she was created back in 2013. In the comics, they described like 25,000 years ago, a Kree species of aliens came to Earth, experimented on humans, trying to give them some sort of ability. And then over the years, in our modern time, those abilities went away, but people still carried the Inhumans gene. And in the comics, one day, a Terrigen Mist went ahead and hit Kamala Khan, triggered her Inhuman gene, and gave her her polymorphic superpowers where she had the ability to not necessarily stretch, but enlarge her body parts. So she could make a really giant fist, hand, she could even shrink her body. It was a unique power set, and a lot of people enjoyed it for the time because that comic ended up selling out a lot. But here, instead, what they're going to be doing is it looks like at one point, Kamala is going to be going up to her attic, digging through her belongings, and finds this bracelet that is going to be gifting her with cosmic-like abilities similar to Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau. With these cosmic abilities, they'll still try replicating a couple of the power sets she had in the comics, where she has this enlarged fist. We see that here popping off in the trailer. And look, there's a couple of ways you can look at this. The most obvious answer is Ms. Marvel is a character that loves Captain Marvel. Even in that original comic book, she's someone obsessed with Captain Marvel. That's her favorite superhero. She wants to be just like her, which I do think is kind of funny. No Brie Larson hate here, okay? We love Brie Larson. But I feel like Captain Marvel as a character in the MCU has been on Earth very little that I would think most people would completely forget about her. But whatever, she's still around enough where they have promotional posters and she has them all hanging up in her bedroom. But it is because of that love for Captain Marvel and her kind of paying homage to her by giving herself the name Miss Marvel that I guess the MCU just thought it'd be better if she had a power set that was more similar to Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau, especially since she is going to be showing up in the latest Captain Marvel movie, The Marvels, alongside that trio.
The fact about Miss Marvel is that her idol is Captain Marvel. And Captain Marvel 2 is currently in the works with director Nia DaCosta. And today I'm excited to announce that Miss Marvel, played by Iman, will be joining Brie Larson and co-starring in Captain Marvel 2, along with a grown-up Monica Rambeau, played by Tiana Paris, whom we will have already met in the upcoming WandaVision.
Heck, even in this trailer, we get that specific scene that we've seen Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel do where their eyes start glowing. But I do also want to give props to Marvel because there was something kind of clever they did here. In the comics, Kamala Khan usually does wear this bracelet. Now, in the comics, the bracelet does not give her any sort of powers. It was just an heirloom passed down from her grandmother. Kamala would just sometimes use this bracelet to go ahead and hide personal belongings while she's crime fighting, like a phone or any other stuff. But it looks like Marvel's gonna take that concept of Kamala Khan always wanting to wear that bracelet that came from her grandmother and use it as the source of her power here. So we could very well find out that Kamala actually comes from a generation of Miss Marvels, and this is a common power that's been passed down generation to generation. Heck, it could be a bracelet that only works with the bloodline of the Khans. I would hope that's the case, because whenever you have a device that gives you the power, I always think about, well, then it's not all that special, because then anybody could just take that device, put it on, and have Miss Marvel powers. I don't want to be one of those Marvel fans that complain so hard that it's like, I can't believe they did this. They ruined the character, when I'm like, I gotta be honest with myself. I didn't know that much about Miss Marvel. I did read those runs of the Miss Marvel issues in preparation for the show when it was announced, but I'm not gonna pretend like I'm a diehard fan of her where I'm so hurt that they changed it. I just do wonder if it was a brand new character, it was just recently introduced, and it was a huge success, what's the big risk with wanting to change all that? And we also got to remember they did the same thing with Shang-Chi. They changed his power set and made it very different with the new lore behind the 10 rings. And I feel like that movie turned out better for it and made Shang-Chi a much more interesting character. So hopefully that same thing can work here. It just sometimes feels like these powers are a little generic. Right? Don't we have like 10 other people that are just busting out random cosmic energy? It doesn't feel that unique anymore. Nevertheless, I'm still very excited for Miss Marvel. I think it's going to be a fun, good time. I like all the little callbacks to the comic. Like they even had the Circle Q grocery store in here. This is like the base of operations where Kamala Khan goes to with her friends since they work there. I'm just really curious how they're going to connect her past family lineage to her getting these powers, and where have these people been and how come they haven't been putting on them powers before. But that's where I throw it off to you guys. Are you excited for the Miss Marvel series? How do you feel about the power change? Does it make sense to you? Does it not make sense? Are you going to be watching this show? Are you not? I'd love to hear from you guys down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.